All right, let's get cooking. Welcome to the latest edition of Chin Check Sports Radio. I'm your host, JD. I want to thank you all for taking the time out to join us. And as always, we welcome any suggestions, feedback, comments, and criticisms, which improves the quality of our program, which ultimately improves your listening experience. Before we get started, we want to tell all of you thank you for your tremendous support. People are slowly but surely finding out about who we are and what we do. They enjoy and respect the passion with which we speak. But as we always say here at Chin Check Sports Radio, we do this because we love it, as we are simply sharing our passions with you all as we continue to build our listening army to take over the world. Right now, we are doing a special broadcast at the 1 minute and 27 mark of the Dallas Cowboys' destruction and domination at home during the wild card round against the Green Bay Packers. Folks, we're setting another first history, recording in the third round of a playoff game, and the Dallas Cowboys right now are down 41-16, and there's no hope in them winning this game. There's no point in even reading numbers and statistics. That's all you need to know. First order of business. Let us go ahead and let's escort head coach Mike McCarthy out of town, because this is all we're getting out of him. This is the most we're going to get out of him. We're looking at 3 straight 12-5 seasons, and the farthest that we got was a divisional round, and that was an awful game against the 49ers last season. So it's one of those, this year was set up for the Cowboys to make it to the NFC Championship game with 2 playoff games at home, and you clearly see Mike McCarthy being out-coached by his predecessor in Green Bay. Makes you wonder why Green Bay got rid of him. And no, we're not playing any music in case folks ask us why. So he has to go. Let's go ahead and call Bill Belichick, who walked away from the Patriots. I'm sure he wouldn't mind the warmer weather in Dallas, but it's just not working with Mike McCarthy. The team looked unprepared, unready to play. Even with scripted plays, they looked awful. And it's something that is rather sad to see. And we're really at a loss for words, but we're going to do our best to kind of get through this broadcast. Dan Quinn, your defense has been regressing during the second half of the season. You decide to play zone coverage where man coverage has been your strength. This is just not working. And let me go back to Bill Belichick. I know they have to fulfill their Rooney Rule quota. Go ahead and knock that out Monday. Right now, Jerry Jones should be placing a phone call to Bill Belichick. Tell Belichick to pack a bag, have a limousine waiting outside of his home, drive him to the airport, fly him first class, conduct your Rooney Rule interview by tomorrow, and Belichick should be hired as new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, and let him fix the defense. Dan Quinn, thank you for your service, but clearly you don't know how to make adjustments, and your defense is getting lit up by the Green Bay Packers. So this is just very unacceptable, and you wonder why when he's a head coach of a team that blew a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl, now we're seeing some of the reasons why. We're going to get on Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, while you're busy worrying about what the Cleveland Browns are doing, what the hell have you done today? This is why I stay off your silly podcast. Stop always saying something. You always have something to say. You always have a soundbite to give. And yet, for some reason, you're not getting the job done. And we told friends of ours yesterday, while you're worrying about what Cleveland Browns players are doing, you better come out and you better dominate this game. And your only highlight play was getting bust in the chest by the Green Bay Packers running back while you're trying to rush up the field. So, Micah Parsons, don't want to hear anything from you. Get off your podcast, which is why a coach like Belichick would come into town and tell you to get off of your podcast and let's focus on business. CeeDee Lamb, you had a record-breaking Dallas Cowboys season, and now there was talk in the first half of some type of weird energy or synergy or chemistry between you and Dak Prescott. This is not the time or the game to have weird synergy and chemistry and energy. This is the playoffs. So when you want more money, CeeDee Lamb, I need I need ownership and a GM to show them a copy of this tape where in a playoff game where this is what you get paid to do, or you want big money as a first-round pick, as a number one receiver, a record-breaking receiver, and this is what you do in the first half of the football game. That is very unacceptable, and quite frankly, it's a damn disgrace. So Dallas Cowboys, there's no point in fans, there's no point in even going through numbers for this game. You heard everything that you needed to hear, 41-16 in the third quarter at home. In the divisional round of the playoffs. And this is really a no-show job. It's an indictment on Mike McCarthy for the team being ill-prepared to play. And let me say this last point. Dak Prescott. Cowboys fans, it's not a stretch to say, let's trade Dak Prescott and see if we can get some trade value to get a new quarterback. At some point, this is what we're getting. 10 to 12 wins at a good season. We're getting bad reads. We're getting turnovers at the worst time. We saw when he had that shell-shocked look on his face in the second quarter, they were in serious trouble. And right now, what is a pinnacle with Dak Prescott? How high is he really going to go? Is he really a Super Bowl-worthy quarterback? No, he can barely get out of wild card games. So definitely something to look into trading Dak Prescott, and I will make an argument, trade him for some trade capital, a high draft pick, and let's start this thing over with a new quarterback. We've been in the league since 2016. We're at 2024, so it's talking about 8-9 years of quarterbacking. This is the pinnacle. We see what we're getting. It's not to get any better. This is where it goes. So, yes, the Dallas Cowboys we're literally doing our broadcast while the Cowboys are still losing at home during a playoff game. And our goal is to have this broadcast already posted to YouTube before the conclusion of this game. So until the next time, it's Chin Check Radio, signing out.